The divorce settlement mom. She didn't build this fortune. She negotiated for half of it: the house, the car, the vacation home. Nobody visited more than twice a year. All of it split down the middle by a lawyer who bills by the hour and somehow stays the calmest person in the room. Some of these settlements don't just change your bank account, they change your entire definition of normal. Mackenzie Scott left her marriage as one of the wealthiest women alive, and instead of disappearing quietly, she started giving billions of it away. That's the range this type covers: modest to world changing in a single signature. Everyone assumes the divorce settlement mom got lucky. Nobody mentions the years of negotiating that came before the number ever hit an account. 2. The alimony mom. The alimony mom is rich on a schedule. The check arrives every month like clockwork, and her entire financial identity is tied to a piece of paper someone else's lawyer drafted years ago. Not a lump sum, a subscription, and depending on the agreement, that payment can change when his circumstances change, when the court gets involved, or when the marriage rules catch up with both of them. Some alimony moms build on top of it, investing the extra until they're quietly independent of the check entirely. Others plan their whole life around a payment that was never actually guaranteed to last. The alimony mom is rich right up until the day the phone rings with bad news from a lawyer she hasn't spoken to in months. 3. The widow mom. She didn't choose this version of rich. It found her on the worst day of her life. One phone call, one hospital room, one funeral, and suddenly she's managing a portfolio she never asked for while also raising kids who just lost a parent. The financial side can be complicated too. Life insurance, investments, property, a business, a will, accounts she may never have managed before. Suddenly she's not just grieving, she's the person who has to figure out what all of it means. And it arrives at the exact moment she has zero energy left to deal with it. The widow mom becomes wealthy and grieving at the exact same time, a combination nobody prepares you for. 4. The remarried up mom. Here's what people get wrong about this one. It's not she divorced one guy and married a richer one. That's not a character, that's a headline. The real story is that the first marriage taught her exactly what she needed and didn't need the second time, what she'd tolerate, what she wouldn't, what the paperwork should actually say before anyone says, I do. So when the second marriage came along, she didn't fall into it. She walked in with her eyes open. This time, the romance came with a financial plan and a prenup that got signed without a single argument. The remarried up mom isn't chasing an upgrade. She's not making the same mistake twice. 5. The trust fund mom. She was rich before the marriage, rich during it, and rich after it ended because none of it was ever actually his to begin with. Family money protected by a trust her parents set up decades before she ever met her ex-husband. Prenup signed without a second thought because the family lawyer insisted on it before anyone had even picked a wedding date. While everyone else is arguing over houses, accounts, and assets, she's sitting there with one problem left to solve: Christmas. The trust was always untouchable. The trust fund mom didn't need the divorce to make her rich. She just needed it to make her single. 6. The Instagram brand deal mom. School pickup, phone out, a tired, honest caption about the chaos of doing this alone. It reads like a diary entry. It is, in fact, a media kit. Behind the same phone that filmed her daughter's meltdown in the cereal aisle is a rate card, a signed contract, and a brand deal that could be worth thousands for a single laundry detergent post. The caption says, just keeping it real. The invoice says otherwise. Some of this is a genuine connection. Millions of single moms feel less alone watching someone who actually gets the schedule. Some of it is a highlight reel with a negotiated rate attached. Either way, the numbers add up fast once the brand deals start stacking. The Instagram mom didn't just survive single motherhood publicly. She figured out how to get paid for every frame of it. 7. The custody battle mom. The money isn't the fight anymore, the kids are, and when there's serious money involved, there can be a lot more things to fight over. Private schools, trusts, vacation schedules, property, lawyers attached to almost every detail. She's spent enough on legal fees this year to buy a car, custody evaluators, forensic accountants, court dates rescheduled 4 times before anyone actually shows up. Being wealthy doesn't shortcut any of it. If anything, it adds more people to the room with opinions about her parenting. The custody battle mom has every resource to fight for her kids. She just never expected the fight itself to cost this much. 8. The working 2 jobs but secretly wealthy mom. Picture her in a cheap work uniform, running on 4 hours of sleep, doing the math on gas money in the parking lot before her second shift. That's the version of her the world sees. Now, picture the garage door going up at home. Inside, a paid-off car nobody at work has ever seen, a folder of rental property documents, investment statements from an account that's been quietly growing for years. Then picture her locking that garage and going back to work the next morning like nothing happened. She's not performing struggle. Some of it is real. It's just running parallel to a cushion she built on purpose, specifically so no job, no man, and no emergency could ever leave her stranded again. The working 2 jobs mom isn't hiding the money out of shame. She's hiding it because visibility never once helped her before. 9, the self-made mom, no settlement, no inheritance, no trust fund quietly waiting in the background. She started a business from a laptop at the kitchen table because she was the only income in the house. The first version probably didn't look impressive. No office, no team, no investors standing behind her, just a laptop, a problem she knew how to solve, and bills that still arrived every month. The grind was never a personal brand. It was survival that eventually turned into something bigger than survival. The self-made mom doesn't call it hustle culture. She calls it Tuesday, 10, the started with nothing mom. And finally, the one who started closest to 0. No settlement, no inheritance, no trust fund, no fortune waiting on the other side of a marriage. Just a lease she could barely afford, a job that paid too little, and a decision to make it work anyway because there was no other option on the table. Every dollar she has now was earned the slow way. One shift, one raise, one smart decision at a time. Over years, nobody was filming. She's the type people respect for a completely different reason. There was never a safety net standing behind her. She didn't upgrade from anything. She built the entire staircase herself one step at a time because being a rich single mom doesn't always mean she married into the money. Sometimes she inherited it. Sometimes she negotiated for it. Sometimes she built it quietly while nobody was watching. And sometimes she started with almost nothing and built the whole thing herself. That's probably the rarest type of rich single mom of all. If you want to see more types of people hiding behind the money, subscribe.